Hi everyone, I'm Scarlett and I am going to be telling you guys today about the SmartTrip itinerary to Croatia. It's been a while since I put out a vlog. I currently work for SmartTrip Europe, and if you didn't know, it is a student travel company based out of Florence, Italy, where we primarily take study abroad American students to different parts of Europe. Either on day trips, weekend trips, and long weekend trips on Easter weekend. The Croatia weekend trip is, I think, my all-time favorite trip. Trips such as BVS, Budapest, Vienna, Salzburg, or the Amalfi one. It's specific itinerary that you can't really deviate from, but with Croatia you kind of get to build your own and do what it is that you prioritize. All of the weekend trips for SmartTrip leave from Piazzale Montelungo, which is a bus station right next to Stazione Santa Maria Novella.
Where are we going?
Croatia!
Woo! Got a lovely group of students here.
We get there at around 8 for check-in. We hope to have everyone checked in by 8:30 so we can depart around 8:45. And for Croatia, it is a little bit of a longer drive. If you punch it into Google Maps, it usually says 8 to 10 hours. But because we do have a couple of rest stops along the way for dinner and then another bathroom break, it typically takes between 10-11 hours. What's really nice about it though is that we are able to check into the hostel as soon as we arrive. So we arrive at about 8:30, sometimes 9 a.m. and we're able to check in immediately. You get access to your rooms and breakfast is ready and being served as soon as we arrive.
We made it to Croatia. I left my jacket in the room, so I'm using a blanket that was on Lily's chair. But apparently, according to Lily, this is one of the best breakfasts in all of SmartTrip trips. So what'd you get for breakfast, Lily?
I got bread, scrambled eggs, meat and cheese.
Sam?
Scrambled eggs and bread. It's a very simple meal, but these eggs are so good. Bread, my favorite combo. Bread, I think this is cream cheese jelly that I put on top, scrambled eggs and a ton of pepper.
And yeah, that is a lot of flavor. I got Cocoa Puffs and bread, meat, cheese, scrambled eggs, and juice.
So most people head down to the serving area, eat breakfast, and then take a quick nap before going on their optional day activities. We offer a lot for Croatia, which is one of the reasons why I also think it's my favorite. On Friday, which is the first day in Split, we have more high adventure activities. So there's zip lining, there's kayaking and cliff jumping, there's ATVing, river rafting, just to name a few. And so what I've done the ATVing and the river rafting, and both of them are amazing.
We made it to the ATV optional activity. We've got about, 35 people here. Can you tell me where you're from? And
South Carolina.
really? Where?
Erno?
I did ATVs in Morocco and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I love these things.
What are you most excited for about the weekend?
Party boat.
Party boat tomorrow.
And that takes up most of the day because it's a little bit a ways away from the hostel to get to the zip lining place, to get to the ATV company. So that does take up a majority of the day. Most people leave the hostel at around noon, 11 a.m., sometimes 1, and then they all come back from their adventures and their optional activities at around 7. A little bit more about the ATVing specifically. We get picked up from the hostel, which is really, really nice. The service providers pick us up in a number of shuttles, sometimes regular cars. And they drive us out for about 45 minutes to the location. It's outside the city center, but it's more in the countryside where there's trails and there's room for ATVs. It is beautiful. But this is about a 2 2.5 hour ride. You can choose to double up if you want to ride on the back of them. You can choose to drive solo. They take you up into the mountains, and because it was raining so much, there was a lot of fog. We went super high. We saw cows, we saw goats, and then sometimes in the summer months, they can choose to take you to a spot where you can hop in a river. When you come back, you will turn in the ATVs, you will turn in the gear. They also give you gloves, so make sure you turn those in, helmet, protective gear, all of that. And then after that, they actually take you to a restaurant for dinner. So the reason I love the ATV experience is because, yes, it's a little bit pricey, typically ranging around 120 euros. It includes a dinner, which is an appetizer, a drink, which can be beer or wine, and then also a full traditional Croatian dish. It includes many different meats. It comes with potatoes, and the service was incredible. Everyone was so nice. It was very welcoming, and it was a great first day in Split.
We just finished ATVing. Oh God. It was cold. Oh hi. It was amazing, incredible. I loved it.
We saw a lot of cows and it was really cute. It was very chilly. I am just now I'm getting the feeling back in my fingers.
And we've been off the ATVs for like 40 minutes now.
Yeah.
30.
And now we're starting to get ready to eat, but it was a great day.
I did see these like dogs, you wouldn't say galloping, running through the fields to get a drink of water. It was really cute.
They were like the sheep dogs that were like herding the sheep and stuff, but then they tried to run after some of the ATVs.
Yeah.
And some of the girls, which was kind of funny. But
I would definitely do it again. I would just hope that next time the weather's a little better.
yeah.
You see French fries, salad, Ivor, chicken, sausage, beef? I don't know what that is. Pork chops? You guys?
After that, the company takes us right back to our hostel so we could get ready for the optional night pub crawl. And the hostel is about a 15-minute drive. That being said, we don't provide transportation to and from the city center. Bolts, aka Ubers and taxis, are incredibly affordable in Croatia. I think for that 15-minute drive, it averages 4, 5, sometimes 6 euros through the Bolt app, BOLT. Now for the pub crawl, it is about 20 euros per person, and it includes a welcome drink at Sanctuary Bar, which is actually owned by an American individual who married a Croatian woman, and then he really, really loved Mexican food. That was his thing, so he opened up this bar and restaurant in the downtown Split area. It's been super successful, and we've been partnering with them for the pub crawl in Split for a while now. Obviously, we continue to do so because it's such a success. What I really like about the pub crawl here is that they change up the clubs and bars that they take us to pretty much every week, so you never know what you're going to get, but all of the options and all of the places that they take us are incredible. My first week, they took us to a bar that was having its soft opening that night, and so they had live band, live music, an incredible atmosphere. You get a welcome drink and then shots at all of the other pubs or clubs that we go to. It is such a good time, and all of the bars are super close together because the downtown area is pretty small. I think you can walk the length of it in no more than 20 minutes. The next morning is a little bit of an earlier morning, so again, breakfast is included. You go downstairs to the breakfast and dining area, and their breakfast I also really enjoy because for whatever reason, their eggs hit. They're so good. It is one of the things I look the most forward to when going on the Croatia weekend trip. Good morning. We went out for the pub crawl last night. It was absolutely amazing. Now I'm just eating breakfast because we are going to get ready to go across the street, go to the grocery store, buy some snacks, a little bit, a couple of drinks, and then we're gonna head over to the party boat. So the party boat is an all-day optional activity. We get picked up at around 10:30, and then we won't be getting back to port until around like 6. So it is a full day thing. Unfortunately, a lot of the Croatia activities are super weather dependent, but even though yesterday was super rainy, ziplining got canceled and rafting got canceled, the ATV activity still ran. And it was so much fun. It was a little chilly, so definitely come prepared. But today the sun is supposed to come out, and it is going to rain, I think, for a portion of the day, but not for a majority. So I'm very excited. On Saturday, we have our optional party boat day. And so with the party boat, alcohol is not included in that price, but we do take students to the grocery store right next to the hostel called Kaufland, and it is extremely affordable. Croatia is a lot cheaper than Italy and a lot of other European countries. After that, we get picked up from the hostel via bus to be taken back to the downtown area, the port in Split, where we get picked up for our optional party boat. It is a private party boat, which is incredible because a lot of other companies or service providers that do something similar to us do not have a private party boat. Instead, they share with the public or they share with other companies. But for us, we do get our own, which is awesome and incredible. And so all the students, we all just pile on and we're off. We do make 2 stops typically. It's all dependent on the weather. So don't quote me. I'm not going to say definitively that yes, we stop at an island and yes, we stop at a swimming point. But if it's too cold, we can choose to skip the swim point, the swim stop. Or if there's too much wind or rain, we might make a stop at a different island versus the one we regularly go to. But there is that lunch stop, so you can get off the boat, walk around an island, explore, get lunch, and then we have a swim stop at the Blue Lagoon in Split.
Boat ride for you guys.
It was awesome.
We're only halfway done. Getting a little tan. Curing our seasonal depression. Okay, so Lily and I here reporting.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. We just did a, what was that, like hour-and-a-half boat ride?
Yes.
And then we made it to the small little town, island.
Of Torgier.
We're going to eat some food, find some souvenirs, hop back on the boat. I really hope this is recording. Yeah. And then we're going to hop back on the boat and go to the lagoon.
Yes.
You hopping in?
That was weird.
Yeah.
But I respect anybody that will jump in. I'm very excited to be here. It's a beautiful day. Look at it. We thought it was going to rain today.
She brought a whole watermelon.
I did. I
like
cracked
a baby
it open.
one.
Cracked it open like
with her
a huge
muscles.
ostrich egg. Sucked the innards out. She said, anyways. She said, camera's coming off of you.
It is a really long day, but what's nice about this is that you have the whole boat to yourself, so you can lay out your stuff. You don't have to worry about other people getting into your things. And this is an incredible time for pictures. You usually have incredible weather. The atmosphere is energetic. Everybody's having such a good time. And then when we stop at the island, you can walk around, get some calamari by the water, order a little spritz. And it really just is one of my favorite days because it's so relaxed. When we get back, we get picked up via bus, again, to be taken back to the hostel. And that's a free night. So typically a lot of people go back into town after showering, getting ready, doing their hair and makeup, and they go back into town for dinner, drinks, exploring.
What did we do today? We were on a 6-hour party boat with all of our students, and it was a glorious day. We thought it was going to rain the whole day, but it was actually very, very pleasant. And then we saw a rainbow at the end of the day, and that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was definitely the rainbow and the fact that we were expecting bad weather and it ended up being beautiful. And I just love a boat, so it was a great day.
And her curse is broken.
My curse is broken, yeah. I have a curse for bad bad weather on both days. So we're good now. The day was great. My favorite part was the rainbow. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen, I think. Double and full. It was awesome. I don't know if you guys just said this. I wasn't listening. And yeah, it was a great day. A little chilly, but you know, that's fine. And yeah.
I think my favorite part was the fact that the sun came out, which means I actually got a layout, and I think all of us got a little toasty. Sam's got a little bit of red here, I got a little red here. The food was incredible.
Don't get on the camera. Don't get on the camera. Please. I'm scared.
And I'm really excited. We're at this Asian fusion place called Silk, and I ordered udon noodles and some kind of crispy chicken. But overall, my favorite part was seeing the sun. I don't know how people jumped in the water at the lagoon because it was absolutely freezing, and even though it's Croatia, I spent... Thank you.
Don't look at the silver.
The coloring.
Please.
We spent a majority of our time like drenched in water this whole weekend, but I still had fun.
Did I?
Now, the very last day is also the day we travel back to Florence. So we get up pretty early in the morning, again, have breakfast, that's included as always, check out of the hostel, and load up the buses. So on the way back to Florence from Split, we make one stop at Krka National Waterfall Park, and it is an incredible place to be. It's made up of 17 waterfalls, and I think that's what Narnia would look like if it was real. It's so lush and green, and the water is so clear. And before COVID, people used to be able to swim in the waterfalls, which I absolutely wish that was still a thing. Unfortunately, they did close the park during COVID and then just never opened up the water back up to the public. So you can still go through the park, but you can't go swimming in the park anymore. They do have bathrooms there. They also have some gift shops. They have crepes, and you can choose your add-ons, whether that's Nutella, jam, peanut butter, cookies, you name it. But they are incredible, and they're usually about €4 to €5. So I do highly recommend getting one of those. They also have hot dogs. They've got chicken nuggets, chicken tenders, French fries. So it's a really good place for people to eat lunch, because we won't be stopping again via bus until around dinner time and then arriving in Florence. The Waterfall Park is also one of my favorite things about the weekend. You get the nature, but then you also got the city and the downtown and the ocean the first half of the trip. So you get a little bit of both on the Croatia weekend trip, which I love, because yes, I love going to bars, I love seeing museums, exploring towns, but then I also love seeing nature. On the way back home, we make a couple of stops, one for dinner so that people can eat on the go, but it sounds like you're just stopping for gas station food, but no, the stops in Croatia and Slovenia, which is typically around where we stop, is like a full restaurant style, and it is so good. One time we stopped at this place, I don't remember the name, but they had cooked salmon, they had tomato soup, they had a salad bar, potatoes, rosemary roasted potatoes. So you do get like a full meal. You don't really, you do have the option of eating just like candies and chips if that's what you want, but you also have an incredible variety for a rest stop. First pit stop, lunch, tomato soup, salad, 2 pieces of bread, cookie. What is that?
I don't know.
Okay, meat, bread, beautiful cheesecake, and more soup.
After that, we make one more stop, and then we arrive back in Florence. So all of it's really dependent on what the traffic is looking like. There was 1 week where the winds were so strong in Croatia that they had to close the major highways. So we had to take back roads for about an hour, which did add an hour to our travel time.
So that was a long bus ride, but we made it back. I'm not feeling that good, but me and Scarlett are going back next weekend, so I'm super excited about this. The bus was great. I slept a lot of it, ate a lot of snacks, but now we're headed home. Rick is here to pick me up, drive me home, We also watched Spider-Man and Mamma Mia.
1 and 2.
Yeah, so feeling good.
I found the absolute best position to sleep in. I realized I just need to bring like a what do you call
neck
it?
pillow?
A neck pillow, and then I just lay down, lean the seat back, and put my legs up on the table.
Yeah.
And I slept great. My neck doesn't hurt, and this has never happened before. But I loved watching Mamma Mia 1. Bummed I fell asleep during Mamma Mia 2. Great bus ride. Loved the snacks. I think this was like one of my favorite trips because everything ran so smoothly. And the staff was great.
Yay!
Okay, hi, I'm Alanis. I'm from New York, and the best part of the trip, I think, was having like a whole big dinner together after the ATV ride. That was fun. We had a lot of laughs, good food, and met some really interesting people, so that was a good time.
Yeah.
My name's Leslie. I'm from Tennessee. I'd say my favorite part was definitely the party boat, just because the weather was really nice for most of the day, and it was really pretty, so it was good to get some sunshine. Yeah.
Okay, my name's Lily. I'm from South Carolina, and I would also say that the party boat was the best part of the trip. I got some color, I got sunburn a little bit on my face. Water revived me. We're back alive again.
Did you get that hat there?
I did buy that
I
hat
like
there.
it. It's very cute.
Although no one would agree though, I think that the best part of the boat ride was that waterfall that was happening on our way back. That whole like
It was beautiful, I will say.
it was beautiful and chaotic, and we loved it. Yeah.
I love chaotic.
In terms of what to pack, I would say it depends a lot whether you are choosing to travel earlier in the year versus anytime past mid-April. If you're going earlier, I would say that you should pack layers. It's still going to be a little chilly, especially the winds when you're taking the party boat back into town. It can get pretty cold. I'd also recommend some rainwear. So whether that's a rain jacket or an umbrella, it can rain in those early months. And if you're doing any of those high adventure activities such as river rafting or the ATVing and it does end up raining, you're going to want a change of clothes. So count on needing to bring an extra change of clothes with you. But if you're choosing to go in the later months, such as end of April, beginning of May, you should probably still bring just like a layer in case it gets a little bit windy, but you can definitely wear more skirts, short sleeves, tank tops, shorts even, and definitely bring sunscreen. I think that after a very long winter of being in gloomy Florence, our skin is not used to that much sun anymore. So I would recommend sunscreen, sunglasses, a good big tote bag to carry your beach towel, your sunscreen, your drinks and snacks and foods for the party boat. So definitely bring a good bag. Don't forget your passport, and then the obvious, just like change of clothes, hygiene products, toiletries, etc. If you have a hard time getting comfortable on a bus, it might be a good idea to bring your pillow and a blanket from Florence to Split. And if you're doing even the long weekend version of the trip, which takes you all the way down to Dubrovnik, that adds another 3 hours to the travel time. And as I mentioned before, this really is one of my favorite weekend trips through SmartTrip Europe, just because of the sun, the weather, the environment, the food. It is so refreshing. Don't get me wrong, I love Italian food. I love my pizza. I love my pasta. I love my bistecca alla fiorentina. But it was so refreshing to have different food. You get that traditional Croatian meal if you do the ATVing, but then there's also a lot of variety in the downtown area. So I did have sushi. I had udon noodles. If you are still wondering as to whether or not you should book Croatia, I hope this video helped clear a couple things up. I hope that these videos give you a little bit more of an insight than what the itinerary posted on the website does, and that it just helps you make that decision. But I do recommend booking this trip, especially because we do sell out of this and our Amalfi weekend trips. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions about this trip, you can drop comments down below, send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And as always, if you are booking anything through SmartTrip, whether it's Croatia, Springfest, Amalfi, a wine tour, a day trip to Cinque or Venice, please do me a favor and book using code SCARLET. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will be dropping my Interlaken weekend trip eventually, as well as Amalfi, and just a day in the lives, sharing a little bit more. I do have some exciting news as to what I'm going to be doing after I finish up here in Florence, Italy, working for SmartTrip Europe. And so I'm so excited to share that with you guys. I don't plan on going back to the United States anytime soon, so I'll just have to keep you guessing as to what comes next for me. In addition to these vlogs on my YouTube, I also have an active blog where I share my itinerary, recommendations for different cities, packing lists, partnerships and collaborations with local companies and service providers. So make sure to check out my blog. I also have an active TikTok, Instagram, and I also offer consultations for anyone looking to travel on a budget. I know it's super difficult to travel as a student, as a young adult, recent grad, or even coming out of high school, because obviously we're not making like big girl money just yet. And so if you're looking to travel and you want to travel often, or you want to travel far, but you have a budget, feel free to reach out to me and I would love to schedule a consultation with you. Again, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.